oftentimes we won't make a simple request.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could have just said, hey, could you come up here? I could use a hug.
Mm.
We don't make the simple request because we're afraid we're not going to get it,
Yes.
or we're mad that we don't already get it. But we realize, and tell if this happens to you guys, we have the request. We usually would put a little sales pitch on the front of it.
Mm.
Hey, I've had a rough night. Hey, I've had this, blah, blah, blah. And we almost like guilt trip. Now can I get what I want?
Mm.
We noticed we started doing that shit all the time to each other, and it would frustrate us. We're like, dude, don't preload the question.
I'm in the big leagues, told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. Yeah, I need a bag, bruh. Send it through quickly. I'm making his dog, like I'm in the big leagues.
Welcome to another edition, another episode of the Married Game Podcast. We are the voice you trust when it comes to lust, and we are who you hire when she lacks desire. And we have a beloved, beautiful couple here, Josiah and Michelle. What is up, gang?
What's up, dude?
Are you guys pumped or what?
Yeah.
East side is in the house.
Yeah, so we got a lot of East Coast vibes. We got a lot of bulging biceps and beautiful long hair. So we're loving this.
Yeah.
Dude, we don't have very many couples come on this show just because we haven't. So it's an honor to have you guys here. I love what you're doing, helping men get their physique back, right? And when a guy gets his confidence back in his physicality, I always tell guys that are really beautiful, I'm like, you're just too beautiful not to be getting laid all the time. You know what I mean? And so it's like, what's going on with your personality that we need to change? And so I have other guys that are my buddies who run, really cool high-end like fitness programs for people that are looking to become excellent. And so it's an honor to have you guys on. You guys are married. You guys love each other most of the time. And we've got some very interesting questions that we would just want to dive right into. Are you guys cool with that?
Yes, thank you for having us.
Yeah, we're ready to go.
All right,
Let's
cool.
do it.
So most people are like, oh, hey, how'd you meet? But we don't care because really we don't know. And we would rather just get right into the nitty gritty of all of it. So I got some questions here for you guys that I think you're going to be pretty excited to answer. All right.
I'm pumped.
So very first question outside, ready, right out the box. What was your guys' last fight?
Go.
Big or small, last fight?
Oh my God, I don't know.
Okay, all right. Good.
Oh, wow.
Well, this is
last
good.
fight.
Well, you
Our
guys
last
told us
fight.
at lunch that you don't have a lot of small fights.
We
You have
don't
the big.
have small fights.
Okay, well, what was the last big drag out fight where you guys, you know what?
Or the last one you can remember.
That you can remember.
It was very, very, very bad because we only have about 2 fights a year,
Okay.
and they're very bad, and we are ready to kick each other out of the house.
Of course.
But I almost don't remember what it was about. What was it about?
Man, this is crazy because I thought I'd be able to instantly recall what it was.
So did we. We thought you would be
We
able
had
to
tag
too.
on questions after that.
I don't want to come across like I don't know what we fight about, but the last fight we had, oh my goodness.
Oh.
Okay,
I think
go.
It was a car.
You know. The car?
I think it was a car.
Could you tell them? I don't know.
I think it was I was trying
What
to
kind of boring couple doesn't fight?
I was
Come on.
I was talking about getting a new car, and it was like financial stuff, and then we got in the house, but I really think it was more like he was annoyed about something else.
Okay.
And then just took it out on me. We got in the house and we just started talking about financial stuff, and it was like one thing after another. And do you remember?
I
No?
don't.
Well, okay. Was
Don't
it like, hey, I want to buy this car? No, you shouldn't. Or hey, I'm getting this car. I'm not asking you. What was the structure of said argument? Or if you don't remember much about that one, what was the one before? We want to know about when you guys want to kick each other out. That's interesting shit because
okay,
every
okay.
couple goes through this.
Oh,
Sure.
okay. So I can tell you. So
Yeah, we can
there was
dig
this
that.
virus going around. What is it called? The one that gets your stomach all messed up, right?
Okay.
Okay. So my kids had this virus. One of my kids had it, and I was staying up all night with them. Then the other one got it, and I was staying up. I'm still working while
Okay.
I'm staying up, right?
Yeah.
Still being a mom, still working. I'm a hairstylist, so I have to go to work. I have to basically entertain for 8 hours straight, stand on my feet. When I come back home, I'm exhausted. Then I have to stay up all night with a sick kid. So when my kids are sick, it's basically like my entire life just like crushes down, right?
Yeah.
So I went through that for an entire week, and then guess what? I got the virus myself.
Oh, okay.
So I got the virus, and I puked the entire night, and all kinds of stuff was happening to me. And I was laying next to a sick kid that I was still taking care of, and my husband was in the other room because I can't even remember why. I think I
my
told
beauty
him,
sleep, obviously.
Okay.
I think I told him,
Oh yeah.
hi, I'll just deal with this. But when I went to bed that night, he knew I was sick. I was sick. I had a fever, and like I had the shakes. I was just really bad. And I said, okay, so why don't you just sleep in the other room, and I'll be here. Well, the next morning he woke up, he took care of the kids, made their breakfast, took them to school, lunch, all that. But it was almost like I needed like
Some TLC.
type of mental support or something.
Yeah.
And he kept saying, what do you need? Do you need anything? What do you need? It was just like a bunch of messages coming in.
It's kind of like
And I
surface level
felt
shit.
like I needed him to come into the room and be like, what did you go through last night? Because literally I was on the toilet all night. And
I was checking the box.
and
Got
I
it.
didn't get
Yeah.
that from him.
Yeah.
And so I started texting him, and I kept saying like, I can't believe you're not, doing this, and I can't believe you're not checking on me, and I just feel so disappointed right now, and that's just like, you're just being a jerk. And so my emotions took over, and I wasn't asking him for what I needed, but I was telling him how he was wrong about everything he was doing, and he felt like I took care of the kids. I did everything I needed to do. I relieved you from all your responsibilities this morning, and I took on all your responsibilities basically. And he felt like he went above and beyond.
Yeah.
And I felt like he didn't do anything.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. That is the typical
So opposite.
fight
Yes.
with a
Yeah.
Western family.
So
Is that how you remember the story, Josiah?
Yeah, I do remember it that way. But I probably remember it now through, 2020 hindsight of like, man, I was definitely just doing the bare minimum. Right? Because my thought was, I got to get all this shit done so I can get to work.
Yeah.
Right. And I wasn't in any shape or form thinking like, oh, maybe she needs an extra back rub or me to come up and just hold her for
Just
a second.
babied for a minute.
Yeah, just baby for a minute. I was like, oh no, she's fine. I got to get stuff done.
Dude,
right.
that's what you like too.
I do like it.
Who doesn't like that, right?
I think for women, their fathers are like, they baby them a little bit, being their daughters. So I expect that too. And sometimes I don't get it. And to communicate it better would.
Well, that
but
leads us-
sometimes it doesn't come out that way. You're just frustrated.
Okay, so
or
you kind of
sick.
led into it then. So the next question was like, who was at fault?
So he cursed me out.
Ah, okay, cool.
Damn, here we go.
All right. Oh,
That's what we're getting
now
to.
we're getting
Here
the
we
juicy part of the
go.
story. All right, now we're talking.
So I went downstairs to grab something. Oh, my son was home because he was sick, the little one. The older one went to school. The little one was still at home because he was sick. So I went downstairs and I got cursed out by him because he was so angry with me that I didn't see his side. And so he immediately was like, you're a bitch for not seeing that I'm doing all this stuff for you.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, huh? You didn't do anything for me. You didn't even come in the room to check on me. And he kept saying, I thought you were asleep. I thought you were asleep. I was waiting. And so when I went downstairs, it didn't go so well. So
Okay. All right.
Who's
So
at fault? Yeah.
all right. So you cursed her out because you thought, "Hey, I'm doing all this cool shit," and you're not recognizing it.
Yeah.
Is that what led you to the curse out?
It was probably because I had a lot on my plate.
Okay.
Right, to accomplish that day. So I had a lot of pressure of like, oh, let me just make sure that everybody's in the right place. All the actors are in their positions, right?
Yeah.
And I'm the director and I'm taking care of everything. And how fucking dare you say I'm not doing my job because I'm keeping things moving forward.
Yeah.
Right. It just felt like, and once again, you construct these realities as you think they are in your head.
Yeah.
I was definitely wrong because looking back when she expressed displeasure or frustration with how what I hadn't done, in that moment, I wish I would have just gone upstairs and be like, hey, what do you need? I got you.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
Instead, I went on the defensive and
yeah.
actually probably a terrible offensive and started, dropping F-bombs.
Got it.
Yeah.
It's so interesting because that's the same shit that we deal with. Is like we're just not seeing each other's point of view, and once we get through all the emotionality of it and we see each other's point of view, we're like, oh, that's what you're doing. Oh, I love you, man. What an idiot I am.
And usually it's each other wants someone's attention or more time. Like you want the same things, but you just go the other ways, and you can't hear each other's languages. You're not communicating well.
100%
Usually
true.
you want the same thing.
100%.
All right, so what was the lesson that you took away from that, where you're like, okay, from moving on from here, now that you see the lesson looking backwards, is there something that you took with you, like a principle that you're like,
Absolutely.
okay,
Yes.
because I know what they are by listening to what you're saying. I'm like, oh man, if she would have just asked for what she wanted with no tone, and if he would have not been such a dickhead and just said, hey, how can I help you, that would have been gone. But obviously our egos fucking hate that.
Sure.
So what was the lessons you guys took away?
Yeah, I mean, for me, there's certain triggers. Obviously, your spouse can hit buttons, as we say, rather easily, and they know which buttons to push at times that aren't always the most favorable. But when I feel that button has been pushed, that's now, instead of a signal for me to go crazy and freak the fuck out, it's like, all right, let me just literally come to the table with my hands open, right?
Yeah.
Like what do you need? I will literally do anything. You tell me exactly what to do. I am your servant, right?
Yeah.
Like, because even if it's just putting out a laundry list of, hey, do you just need a hug? Like, I got you. You know? Or do you need me to go to the store? Is there something I'm missing?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm missing something.
Sure.
And I don't want to miss anything.
Yeah.
Right? Just being a little bit more, I guess, humble could be the right word, or just inquisitive. You know what I mean?
A woman's thinking instantly, let me ask you if this is what you're thinking. You should already know this. Why don't you get it, right? A woman's like, why don't you get it?
We've been together this long, and you still can't do this.
And you still can't do
exactly.
this shit. How dumb are you?
Yeah.
Was that going through your head?
Yeah. I just wanted him to
Get it.
come in the room and ask and give me a hug and be like, oh my God, how was your night? I know you were really sick. What do you need?
Okay, so what was your lesson that you took away from this? So obviously in relation, we go, hey, what's on my side of the street that I need to clean up, right? So what happened next?
Yeah, so like I can't text him and say, why didn't you come and check on me? I need to say, hey, I really went through a rough night and I need you to come in here and, you know, whatever it is that I need. I just need a hug, or I need you to come check on me. Can you come inside real quick? Instead of expecting him to just open the door and come and, you know, check for me. But
you know what's interesting about that too, Michelle? Because we were just learning this recently, because we have arguments that we go through and stuff, and we
do.
Yeah, we notice that oftentimes we won't make a simple request. Like you could have just said, hey, could you come up here? I could use a hug. We don't make the simple request because we're afraid we're not going to get it, or we're mad that we don't already get it. But we realize, and tell if this happens to you guys, rather than we have the request, we usually would put a little sales pitch on the front of it. Hey, I've had a rough night. Hey, I've had this, blah, blah, blah. And we almost like guilt trip, now can I get what I want? We noticed we started doing that shit all the time to each other, and it would frustrate us. We're like, dude, don't preload the question.
Also, when you preload the question, it comes with all this baggage of your relationship that you're saying. So you're saying it with tone.
Yeah.
And last time you didn't do that for me, so can you do it this time? That's what a lot of people do. So they're bringing all that baggage into that question.
Yeah.
Instead of, hey, babe, can you throw out the trash?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then a guy's
You
ego.
didn't do it last time. Now can you do it? How long is that trash going to stay there? You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, you see that bitchy tone?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that is exactly what we hate.
Yeah. That's a big button pusher.
It is.
For me.
Well, let me
My
ask you.
button's being pushed actually as she's
This
saying
is
that.
what, exactly.
That
Exactly. This is
tone,
literally what we fight over too.
That tone is
that
like,
we're learning
hey,
not
get
to.
that tone out of here, man. Nobody asked for that tone.
And sometimes I'm like, I didn't even have a tone.
Yeah.
Just talking.
Same.
And then he's like, shields and swords, and we're fighting
I'm
for
defensive.
nothing.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to go at that point.
Yeah.
Mad like, okay. What is your longest enduring irritation with each other? Like, you know, there's that thing for her and us, is like her tone that I think, my God, that tone. And then she even says, I got tone. You know what I mean? So, and it's just, there's this irritation, like it just pops up every once in a while, but it's the one that kind of keeps popping up. Is there a enduring irritation that pops up for you guys?
I think he doesn't communicate enough with me.
Okay. Like tell me more.
like I feel like I'm put in situations sometimes and I don't know what's going on. There's no communication behind it. I think that even with our kids, like he might sign them up for sports or things and he doesn't tell me, there's no communication, and I sign them up for something else and he doesn't tell me. So we sign them up for the same thing on the same day.
Oh my God.
I just feel like
I'm already
there's
firing
no
guy.
communication.
Yeah.
There just isn't any communication about a lot of things, and there could be serious things that where he needs to communicate with me. Like it could be with his business.
Yeah.
Like he fires people, hires people, and I feel like I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, so you want to feel more included.
Yes. I mean, he has people working for him. I show up at the live event and they're hugging me and kissing me like, oh, Michelle. And I'm thinking, who is this person? You don't know who I am. And I'm like, no, I do. And in my head, I'm
such
like,
a tool. I'm such
I
a
don't
tool.
even know. I'm sorry.
Send her in the war with no
that
tools.
kind of stuff makes me really upset because I feel like I'm your person, because I feel like I share everything with him.
Yeah.
The little things like, oh my God, I bought these shoes and they're like a size 38 and I'm a size 30, and he doesn't care, but I'm still talking and sharing.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I'm sharing the smallest things, how can you not share the big things with me?
Yeah, because it helps you to feel like you're connecting with him when he shares that. Okay, what's the enduring irritation with her?
I think the assumption that I'm doing something negative, right, in a lot of these cases, where I'm doing something and in some sort of twisted way, I'm trying to put her in a weird spot, or I'm hiding things, or I'm doing things without her on purpose. Yeah. When in reality, sometimes my brain runs so fast that I do 10 things and I'm like, oh shit, now I got to go back. I got to slow down. Yeah. Right? Let me go back and tell her like about the sports, like, hey, I signed up for this or whatever. Yeah. I just did it because it popped up and I just took quick action. Yeah. Sometimes I do take way too fast of actions and I don't seek counsel. And oftentimes, I just want to be understood. Yeah. Where it's like, hey, dude, I know you're running at this like crazy rate. Yeah. But it's okay to slow down and talk to me about it first, because I love to hear about your stuff. Sometimes I'm like, I don't want to bore her with this. Yeah. Right? Like, I don't want. You're
saying if she would have said that to you that way that you just said, that's your language.
100%.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Then I'm like, ooh, yeah, let's fucking powwow. Like,
because now she's interested in you, not in just like, what can I have?
Because it almost feels like when she doesn't get all the facts or know everything about certain things that we have going on, the immediate action or the immediate thought about me is like, you're doing something that is affecting me and you're doing it on purpose. Yeah. Right? When in reality, it's like, if she just said, hey, I love getting to know about this stuff and learning about it, helping you with it, tell me everything, like in a positive way, I'd be like, awesome.
Do you notice the difference? What the difference is how you said it was masculine and how you said it was feminine.
I did, because I wanted to say, even like you're speaking from your heart. I just wanted to jump in. Yeah. And
it was so beautiful, but that's what our enduring irritation is. So I'm just curious. Our enduring irritation is the feminine and masculine role. When she comes in with a masculine role, I'm like, yo, dude, I could use a little femininity right now. I could use a big fucking hug. You know what I mean? I could use a hug right now. I don't need a fucking reprimand. Yeah. And vice versa.
Well, I'm like, I need a man right now. I don't need to give you a hug. Let's go.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so fun. Hey, let me ask you guys this. What's the greatest relationship advice you've ever gotten that you guys are like, man, we're really glad we heard this?
For me, I think I'll just jump in because lately I've been thinking about this because our 10-year anniversary was Valentine's Day.
Oh, cool.
So I mentioned it to a few people and they were like, what's the advice? Like, tell me what it takes. And I said, I think not allowing conflict don't let the sun go down with your anger, basically, is the term, right? Don't let the sun go down on your anger. Because when we drag things out, we waste so much time and we don't actually, here's the crazy part. It's not even so much about resolving it and then making up and having great sex and all the fun stuff, right? It's like you almost forget the lessons because you let time go by and you're like, wait a second, what were we arguing about? Like you start talking about it and you're like, oh wait, I said that shit. Did I say that? I can't remember. How did I say that? What was the tone? But if you address it right away, you get the lesson. You don't forget the facts and what actually took place. You can backtrack and go, oh, this is where I screwed up, or this is where you screwed up, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But you let a week go by, you're like, dude, what were we even fighting about? And then it happens again, though, because you didn't learn the lesson.
Because you didn't dig into finding what the hell went wrong here.
Exactly. You don't actually get the facts.
Does that always work practically? Because that doesn't work practically for us.
No, not at all.
We'll be like, we're too angry. We can't talk about this. I have to go sleep on this so that way I can
Be nice
I
to
need
you,
a good
'cause
night's
I'm
sleep.
being mean now.
I need to lay my sword down. I need to not be a total dickhead right now.
Yeah.
And
so
think,
we
where
can't.
can
But
we
do you guys
move on
force
from
each
that?
other? Like, we are
No.
not going to bed till we do this.
I think that term "don't let the sun go down" doesn't necessarily mean like that night.
Okay,
You got
yeah,
it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You got to you're drunk. You got to figure this out. Like no, it's like sometimes
Yeah,
you
if
just
there's
know.
drinking involved.
Yeah, then you
we
let
let
it-
it go to the next day.
Yeah.
If there's no drinking involved, we solve it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think for us it's more like if you wake up with the same bad feeling from the night before, then I don't know, it kind of drags out.
I think there's something like a little voice, right? At least for me, I just speak for myself, but it tells you like you gotta talk about this. And if you ignore that voice, you're like, nope, I'm gonna go do stuff. I'm gonna go party. I'm gonna go hang out. Like I'm gonna go work out for 3 days, whatever, right? You know you're doing something wrong. You're fucking up.
Yeah.
But if that voice is like, dude, you gotta just go talk to her, you know, and you ignore it, then like that's the moment. That's when the sun is going down. Like fix it right then.
Is that you usually having to come and say sorry? Who says sorry
Oh my
more?
God, I was literally wanting to ask that. You just did.
When we first met for the first 6 years, he used to say sorry. A lot.
Keep going.
Now
Yeah.
you do too?
No. Now he doesn't say sorry. And
Oh
I
no,
don't say
that's not
sorry.
true. That's not true.
No, you kind of like.
Remember the other day?
The other day,
I'm
you
remembering
did.
a time now.
Yes, and I said to
Where I
you,
nipped something
and
in the
I hugged
bud.
you, and I said, "Wow, it's been so long."
Well,
that
I
you
can't
haven't
remember
said
when we were.
sorry.
It's so crazy.
I think
can't
his
remember what
ego
happened.
over the years has gotten very big, and it's gotten harder to get like a sorry from him. And I think the first 6 years I was so used to that, and then it changed, and then
I blew up on Instagram, and that was it.
yeah. And
Yeah,
then
it was
I
became
wasn't
an
even
Instagram
sorry
month.
anymore. It was always like, well, if you want this to work out, like you're just gonna have to apologize to me, and I would be like, excuse me, me?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So
Dude, you
I
guys sound like a
just-
regular couple.
Yeah. So it just like
Your audience is gonna love to get to know
Yeah.
you guys like this. By the way.
Yeah.
No, it was just
So
bad
real.
for a while.
Yeah.
But now it's like we've kind of like now gotten to a point where we understand that we're both kind of like at fault, and there is no like, hey, you know what? I'm going to take the blame. I'm so sorry. We don't do
You
that
did say you're
anymore.
sorry though. I remember
It's
a
just
time
learning from it, right?
recently.
Yeah.
You did come and say you're sorry recently. I slept in a different room one night.
Yeah.
It wasn't a drag out blow, get the fuck out fight. It was just like, you're annoying, I'm out, right, for like 2 seconds. But I was super tired and I fell asleep in our guest room. And the next morning I'm walking out, you're walking out, and you looked at me and you're just like, hey. And you came up and was like, I'm sorry. You just gave me a hug. And I was like, oh shit, that was awesome. Like that was sick, right? Like
Yeah.
in that moment you could ask me for anything. I would have been
And,
like,
and you
done.
wanted to figure out like, well, I'm probably sorry too about some stuff too,
Oh,
right?
totally. I was
Yeah.
like, you're right. I was a douchebag. Like, it's like instant, open
Yeah.
conversation. Everything's good.
Maybe
That-
I should try that.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, you,
Nah.
should. You kind of did on Christmas morning.
Well,
On Christmas
you
morning-
ruined my Christmas night, and I wasn't gonna let you do that to me, so
you-
I took a stand.
And when you
And I
ruined
was
my,
nice,
when
very
you ruined,
nice.
when you ruined my Christmas Eve, I
No.
thought, you know what, I'm gonna work on it. All right, what is
Let's
your
get into some juicy ones.
Yeah, so we're going to ask you a question here, and we're going to give you 3 seconds to answer it. You're going to say it at the exact same time. We just want to see kind of what this is kind of like love connection. Michelle, you
Don't
think
be
you can
embarrassed. It's
handle a
normal
little-
stuff. It's
This is
normal.
love connection shit.
Let's do
okay.
it.
All right, love connection. I'm gonna say like on a scale of 1 to 10, how is your? And I'll say it, and I'll just be like, and then you guys answer.
Say a number.
Yeah, say a number.
Okay.
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 Easy.
We got the rules so far.
So far.
Okay. All right. On the scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your sex life? 1, 2,
10.
3.
8.
Okay. 10. Wow. All right. These are some high numbers. Well done. Well done.
We've been at work.
Okay. So this is, what do you think? So it's a 10. So there's no room for improvement. You're 10 out of 10.
I thought so.
Well,
There's 2
She's like,
people
well, there
in
is
this.
room.
well,
for
hey, everybody's
improvement.
experiencing. There's different seasons, a lot of different
Yeah.
things.
We
but,
talked about that this morning, saying
I
that.
told you it was gonna be a great question. All right. So, well, then, since you're perfectly satisfied and there's no room for growth there, do you want to retract and or change your number?
No.
Okay. So 10 out of 10, you're happy. All right. 8 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Why 8 out of 10?
Well, she's going to be surprised with my answer.
Okay.
Because I actually think she does everything I want her to do.
Okay.
But there are times where I hold back and don't tell her exactly what I want.
Got it.
And that could be even something as little as like sex positions, right?
Okay.
So I just want to be comfortable. I'm not sure what that, it'll probably take mutual work on this, but being comfortable saying exactly what I want.
Got it.
And not feeling like, oh God, I might get denied.
Got it.
Right? So, and I'm the type where I'm never going to say 10 because that's just who I am. I'm a sick human being where it's like, I'm a 9 out of 10 forever if we're perfect, right? Because there's always room for improvement.
Same.
You know, I'm just a sick, twisted individual. So
I like that.
Is what it is.
Then I
We can
am too,
appreciate
because
that.
I will never choose a 10.
An 8 is basically a 9.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that a shock that he said 8?
Yes, because in the past when we've talked, he said that it was like 150%, not 100. So yeah, I am.
I mean, we can clarify.
Was that right
guys.
after?
She is fucking amazing in bed.
He's been saying that. So
She
like,
does.
I'm like a little surprised that he even thinks there's room for improvement, and the fact that you can't talk to me about that openly, and now you're saying that.
Isn't that great to
it's
do it
kinda weird.
on public
Ready,
show?
fight.
Isn't this great to have it on a public show?
No, it's
I mean,
it's.
We say exposure is the gateway to expansion, so we talk about fucking everything.
So, but now you're going to leave and probably talk about this and say, well, babe, what do you want?
Yeah,
and
no, it's
let me
this is.
know.
I'm taking ownership here. This is for
that's
me.
what I love. Yeah,
this is for me. She's amazing in bed.
Well, what it
no
sounds like the
complaints.
reason why it's an 8 for you, in my opinion, from what I just heard, was like it's because of things you're not doing, not anything she's not doing.
100%.
Right.
Yeah,
I
so-
took the question as, is there?
In general.
Yeah, is not like, hey, is your wife do everything you want her to do in bed?
Yeah.
That wasn't what I heard. I
Yeah.
heard, how is your sex life? And
Yeah.
I know that there are things that I want to do more of.
Yeah.
And things I want to ask for that I haven't.
Yeah.
So that's on me.
You don't have
so
to
an
tell
8,
us what it is.
Yes,
but
you do
what
right
is it?
now. Go. No, I'm just kidding.
reverse cowgirl every time.
Okay.
But John and Nineveh said that on their last one too with us.
Yeah.
That's how she would want it too.
Reverse cowgirl.
She wanted it more like that too.
Reverse cowgirl.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
god.
amazing.
then-
It's the best view
Do you
ever.
like reverse
Guess
cowgirl?
that's a normal thing.
Do you know what position that is? I'm just kidding.
On top
it's like-
and turn around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
top
she
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
got it.
Do I want more of that?
No, I'm saying that
Well, that's what he wants.
You want more of that?
Oh yeah, every
that's what
time.
he just said. He said he want reverse cowgirl.
That's so weird that he wouldn't. What's
I
the
know,
hard
but
task
see,
with
but
that?
see,
Like,
that's why it's not
something's
10 out of
wrong
10
with
because
you.
it's
Yeah.
something
But that's-
right.
that-
like,
I know it's not. It's easier.
That's
right?
what I was saying. Like,
Yeah.
he's really saying I have a 10 out of 10 with you,
Yeah.
but because it's not, but it's an 8 out of 10 on my side because I'm not asking for what I want necessarily in those areas.
Why?
And
Good question.
I know
That's a good question.
that, dude. That's the most beautiful question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Why?
our next
More
question.
questions.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. But we love having real conversations about this type of stuff because it's like this is every couple in America they go through the exact same shit. And that's why we share all of our stuff like, man, I'm so mad at her because of this, or God, I can't believe she did this. What's your best date ideas? Your best date night ideas. What's the best dates you guys have ever been on?
Best date? Day dates for sure.
Yeah.
Day dates. We don't do date nights. We do day dates.
Okay. Because the kids are in school or what have you?
Yeah. Kids are in school. I have my own thing, so I can just take off. And she's off, so we roll during the day. Best day date that we've been on, and it's probably simple, but we drop the kids off at school. We go work out together. We go out to lunch, come home, have sex, go pick up the kids. That's literally the best date ever, and we
Yeah.
feel so connected after that.
Dude, we
Sounds like our dates.
Yeah,
they're
like
so
that.
awesome.
Go hiking, have lunch,
have sex.
Yeah,
go on
whatever.
with our day.
It's
But
amazing.
it's funny how that sounds like a regular date to single people, right? Because that's what they do.
Yeah.
To single people, like they'll go hiking, they'll come back, they have sex and whatever. They're like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? That's like a regular day. That's
Yeah.
what we do. But
Yeah.
for us, it's like a special thing.
Yeah, because you throw kids in the
Kids.
mix and
Oh, yeah.
businesses and
Yeah.
hair and all the other stuff.
Yeah.
It's an absolute vibe.
Like, I
Is
love
there-
that.
Is there anything that you would say now? You guys you got a thriving business. You've been doing hair for a while. Is there anything that you would say back to you when you first got when you first started dating, first got married, was there something that you guys, it was just a big deal to you back then, but now almost 10 years later, you look back and go, oh man, we really didn't get it. I don't want to say it wasn't deal breaker, but it was just frustrating or annoying or that type of thing back in the day.
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, he wouldn't touch anything in the kitchen. He thought he was like the man. Like when you're a man, you don't touch a vacuum. You don't go into the kitchen. You don't go into the kitchen. You don't. A lot of those things.
Where's
like
the
I
kitchen?
do dishes.
Yeah.
Like why do I have to?
I need a fork, babe.
Yeah.
I know.
Yes.
It's
I mean,
all too easy for
emptying
me.
out a dishwasher, it was like, what? Like, how can I'm a man? Like, I provide. Like, how could I ever?
Yeah.
And
how many fights did you guys have over that?
Quite a lot.
That was like
That was one, dude. I'll tell you
it.
one. She
Like,
left.
literally,
She took my kid
yes.
and left.
Yeah.
She went out here to Cali.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving Eve.
Because he didn't.
Because I didn't do something. I didn't unload the dishwasher was what kind of started it.
Yeah.
And I was getting ready to head off, do something with my friends for a day, and Thanksgiving Eve or whatever. And we had one child at the time, and then I also didn't put up curtains that she asked me to put up.
How long did she ask you to put them up for?
It's probably a couple months. Well,
Weeks.
Okay,
Sounds
weeks.
like a picture
Sure,
he
weeks.
wouldn't hate. It's literally the same thing.
And she said,
That morning, I said, I had enough. I said, listen, if you can't put up the curtains, I'm calling my dad.
that's a button. You call
And
your
he was
dad?
like, you're gonna,
no.
you're gonna what? You're gonna call your fucking dad? And I was like, yeah.
There it is.
And that
Yeah,
was
call your
it.
dad.
That was it. It was over. Like, we got into the
she got
biggest
a
fight.
Airline ticket.
I was
and
pregnant
left.
and I had a kid, and we got into it. We didn't get physical, but we got into each other's face to the point where it was going to get physical.
Yeah.
And I packed my stuff and I was like, I'm leaving. And I left and I went to my cousin's house.
In California. This is not a quick trip.
I took my kid, went to
7-hour flight.
California, and I was gone for
Pregnant.
Thanksgiving. Pregnant, yes. And he was like, you're basically kidnapping my child and my unborn child. I was like, yes, I am. And what?
Yeah.
And, and then because I didn't say I was going to like go there, come back, I was just like, I'm not coming back. And I left and, but yeah, it was,
Why didn't you? Okay.
because of some curtains.
It's because he didn't do what he said he was going to do.
Because I felt like I didn't have any support. I felt like I was doing everything on my own. Like I felt like, why do I, as a female, I feel so run down.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm still like, if you really think about it and you go back, we both come, like you're a boy, I'm a girl, right?
Yeah.
When we first start, before we get married, right?
Yeah.
And I'm a girl. I do my own laundry. I live by myself. And all of a sudden, just because you're my boyfriend or whatever, I have to do your laundry now. So I pick up another person's responsibilities in life just because I'm a girl, right?
Yeah.
So then I do that.
Same shit.
And then it keeps going. Then you're married and you have kids. Now all of a sudden, you have to pick up you got to do this child's laundry, and really you're still that little girl from before, right? So why do you all of a sudden have to do 2 other people's laundry and your own, right? So then it's like, oh, now you got to clean up a whole kitchen, you got to do the dishwasher, you got to empty out the dishwasher every single day. It's repetitive, it's annoying, nobody likes to do it. It's so repetitive that it's to the point where you're like, I could really use these 30 minutes to maybe open up a book and learn something and be productive or do something good for myself in life. But I'm not doing that. I'm taking these 30 minutes to empty out this dishwasher and do whatever every single day. And then you're like, well, why can't he do it? Why do I have to do it, right?
Yeah.
So
What did you guys end up doing? Hiring somebody to come do it or what?
Well, now it's very different.
I do it because
but
to take a page out of your book, hearing this now is so amazing because the child that I was back then didn't have standards.
Yeah.
It was like I didn't know what it really meant to be a husband and a man, and it sounds cliche or it sounds whatever, but it's the truth. I just didn't know what I didn't know.
Yeah, for sure.
And then when I look back on that guy who was me, I go, damn, that dude was a freaking loser.
Yeah.
Right? Like he just didn't have standards that would result in a happy wife who felt taken care of in every way. I was hustling and making money and whatever, but I wasn't doing stuff that, like, as a guy now who has 2 boys, I would want these 2, soon to be men to have way better standards than I did back then. So I hear this now, and it's not like it hits my ego at all. I'm just like, you're fucking so right. I was such an idiot.
Yeah.
Right? Like curtains.
That's me.
You know what I mean? I don't love it. Do you think I like to put them? I actually hate doing it. But why do I hate doing it? Well, because I thought that I was lowering my standards.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, dude, this is just me. I'm like a savage in all areas.
Yeah.
So I put on music now, and I put away the dishes for 2 minutes. Oh my God, it's so hard. It's not hard. It's amazing.
So simple. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's right though. Everything she said was right. I was just like, damn, like just a child with a huge ego back then.
Those are the same exact things we went through.
And imagine having do laundry for 3 kids too.
Yeah.
And you.
2 kids. Oh,
Your
yeah, my
3.
yeah, that's right.
I got a boyfriend and 3 children, and then
Yeah.
I started doing everything for you guys.
Yeah.
While you guys just sat back eating popcorn all the time.
Oh my God. Yeah. This
And
is
throwing popcorn around too.
This is why she left. People see us
That's
now
exactly
in married
why.
game and like, oh my God,
All
what a
that
great
stuff.
relationship. No, dude, I was the worst. That's why at least she called me Trevor. She's like, dude, you're such a Trevor. Like you're that guy.
I had
So,
to what did I say that?
decompartmentalize.
Yeah, like put that guy. That's our different relationship, and I'm with a whole new guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it feels like. So now what's the dynamic? Now is when you look at this stuff now, you just like what you said, you're just like, bro, I got a higher standard. Like I'm here to help. I want to be a part of this thing.
I have now created a checklist for myself, for me, right?
Yeah.
Not for her, for me, because there are certain nights during the week where I know if certain things don't get done, that totally falls on her plate.
Yeah.
She's going to come home, see that it's not been done, be in a terrible mood, and I'm going to feel like a piece of shit, right? So it's not so much that I get laid or whatever, right? Because I do it all the time. Doesn't mean I get laid by doing that. It's because I want to go to sleep at night knowing that I hit my standards for me.
Yeah.
Because God forbid the world ends and I'm left by myself, right? I still want to do these things because that's just how I want to operate. But I know at the end of the day, it's making her feel whole, feel protected, feel just great. So when you place it's almost like you place 0 value on it before, right? It was just a hindrance. It was a negative.
Yeah.
And now you place value both internally and some external value, of course. Then all of a sudden it's like you kind of want to do it, right? Because you're like, well, shit, it makes things much better and smoother.
I love it.
Something you said earlier is that I'm assuming society raises men to like, oh, find a wife to cook and clean for me and do my laundry. So when you find a woman and then you automatically expect that. You're like, she's not doing my laundry, I'm not going to wife her up, which is crazy. And then now you said you shifted, that you do it for you and for her. And so now it's just, you just made that adjustment.
Totally. It's such a good point too, because I do think society is really confused.
The same way with you.
It's confused though, right? Because I believe there are roles of the man and woman that are different.
Yeah.
Because there are certain things we literally cannot do.
Exactly.
Right? From an emotional perspective, like the way I see her with my kids. What she can do to connect with the boys is something I'll never be capable of doing. I could take all the hormones in the world. I'm not gonna be able to do it. Right? Same is true for me, but the masculine side or the father side, there's things that she can never do, no matter how hard she tries. But there are things we both can do that create synergy and community and a household that works together.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not a gender role or a wife role or a male role. It's just a partnership.
Yeah.
Right? And it's but we've come to this point where like every task has to have a gender assignment. Like, well, the man does this, the woman does this. Well, sure, maybe there are things that the woman naturally wants more of and the guy wants more of, right?
Yeah.
But I think some of the miscellaneous stuff, it's like, dude, it's like,
who cares?
Doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Like,
you just learn to work together.
Yeah. Like, and the funniest thing though is when you meet people who are that way. I guess I don't like the word toxic masculine. I think it's fucking retarded, but like, that's a victim mindset. It's just, I think there are guys who would love to put on a front that they don't do anything. They're just such a savage. Their woman just bends over and does the dishes naked, right?
Yeah.
Then you meet them in real life and you're like, oh, you're a dweeb.
Yeah.
Like your woman doesn't do that.
Yeah.
You're lying.
Yeah.
Nobody
or she does and she resents
and
the
she's
hell out of it.
abused.
Yeah.
You got her locked in the basement or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, come on. Like that's not the way it is in reality. You're just a liar. But
that's so fun. Man, those are some of the exact same things we went through.
I know, right?
Microphone. When it comes to parenting, have you guys you were raised in a little bit of a different country for a while, come from a different culture and speak like 17 different languages. This guy's just an American jock like I am, and we barely passed Spanish class. When it comes to raising children, have you guys butted heads on that? Have you guys agreed on everything? What have you guys done there? That's one of our dials is a parenting dial. And where are you guys at? Can I have some of that?
We're definitely on the same page now. We were not before. And I think that has to do with how, so I always say you have to make sure, like, whoever you choose to marry has to have a similar upbringing, right? Because, so with our kids, I felt like Josiah was still like a little bit more like military style, whereas me, I was most of my life an only child, and then I was very spoiled. I got a lot of love, and so Josiah was like very tough with our kids, and I didn't like that. I don't believe in spanking and all that stuff, and he was totally like, well, yeah, that's how you know, he's a boy. Yeah.
I'm gonna cut to the chase. She saved me, and I'm not gonna get emotional, but she saved me from being an abuser. Straight up.
Got it.
I was raised by a very abusive set of parents, physically and mentally, verbally, you name it. And this isn't a sob story, but it was a difficult situation. I didn't know any other way than to be a disciplinarian physically with my boys. And I, thank God, was given two very savage young boys who have a rambunctious side. And her side brought the perfect balance into my life. And I saw it take place right in front of me, where my natural instinct was to get physical, to exert dominance, and to say, no, I am the king of the jungle here. You are going to bow to me, boy, right? And then I realized how much distance that was creating between me and my kids. Yeah. Where it was fear, it wasn't respect. And everybody around me saw it, except for me, of course, because I know everything, dude. Yeah, like, what are you talking about? And then all of a sudden I realize I'm on an island by myself and I'm starving. And I'm like, wait a second.
God, so true.
It is. Everybody saw it. Her mother, oh my God, her mother wanted to kill me. Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to kill you. Because you're wrong. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Right? You didn't have boys. You had two girls, right?
Yeah, what do you know?
Right. What do you know? You just got the two most loving girls on the earth. Like, how dare you? Right? But it saved me, dude.
Wow.
And that actually took place when my oldest was 2 or 3. I changed my ways, dude. Like, I literally, there was a moment I'll never forget where I spanked the living shit out of my son. It sounds terrible. I'm just being honest. I spanked him pretty bad. Yeah.
And
he was being
I
was spanked, not spanked. I was beaten as a kid with literally wooden, they called it sticks, but it was like a fucking 3-inch thick paddle. It was terrible. I had bruises and shit all the time. So I slapped him on the butt with my hand, but it was pretty harsh. Yeah. And I remember the tears that I saw from him and how it was pain. Yeah. Right? It wasn't like, oh, I got in trouble, whoops. You know, it was like literal pain. And everybody around me was like, dude, you can't do it anymore or else you're out. Like, it's wrong. Wow. And I sat with that and I did some soul searching and I sought out mentors and I did in a short period of time, thank God, I saw the light, dude. And I was like, I don't want to be that guy. Yeah. My father is literally last on the list of the best people in my life. Like, he is not a good dude. And to be in the same discussion as an individual like that sickened me. And I was like, that is not who I am, bro. Like, I am a loving guy.
Like, once you had that experience, did it change or did you have
Truth be told, I think it was.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Like, I think it was.
It just clicked for you.
I think it was a miracle, bro. Like, I'm not even kidding because I flipped a switch. And I was like, I'm never going to do that again. And I haven't. Bro, I haven't. Wow. Like, I haven't spanked my kids so long. And now,
what do you do now? I mean, boys are, they're tough and rough and they're rebellious. What is your method now?
I get active with them, man. I get active with them. I take them outside. We run around, right? Yeah. You know, you have to.
It's pent up energy. Or
I take them to the field. You see on my Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram, like, I take them, I take the neighbor boys, we go play flag football for like an hour, right? Yeah. And they come back and they're like, that was awesome. Like, they're well behaved, right? Yeah. When it is hard, because discipline is part of life, but when they do require discipline because they didn't do what they said they were going to do, or they lied about something, we simply remove something from their life that is a reward, right? And say, hey, you're not going to just get anything you want. There's things that are now going to be taken away because you didn't honor what you said you were going to do. That's so much more powerful than spanking.
What did that do for you once you saw him make that switch? To make you appreciate him or look at him differently?
Oh, yeah. It definitely made things easier. It made the relationship between the boys and him better. And it just brought like more like a harmony in our house. Like it was just like everything was just like
we're on the same team and we can coalesce.
Yeah.
All right.
She was worried though because she was like, "Are you still going to spank me?" And I was like,
Oh yeah,
All right,
can't get rid of that one.
Okay, speaking of that, all right, let's do this. What, Josiah, you can start, and then you can finish. What is the most attractive thing about your wife to you, other than her looks?
oh man, she is the most forgiving person. She has this ability to see past people's faults, including my own. I really admire that. And I give her a hard time about it a lot of times. I'm like, why do you put up with that? Why do you deal with that? Like, why do you just set it to the side? And she's like, why get so caught up in like negativity? Like, why allow this like super, nonsense type of shit to just ruin a great thing? Like, I'm just going to see past it. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, I have such a hard time with that because when someone fucks up that many times, I'm like, you fucking you're done, right?
Yeah.
But she just has this overwhelming ability to see past that and to just be a bigger person.
Wow.
And like I still to this day, I'll never be able to match it, I don't think, but I admire it, in a big way.
Yeah. How about you, Michelle? What's your favorite thing? What's your most attractive thing about it? What do you think? You know the question.
Yeah, I think the if I get mad at him, and I have to be like, I have this thing in my head where like if I'm mad, I have to think about something very positive about him to not be so mad and just get rid of the negative thoughts and bring in positive thoughts.
That's a great practice, by the way.
Yes, and I try to do that, and so like. The positive thought that comes in is how he treats my parents. I don't know. It's the number one thing for me.
No, I love that.
Did you know that?
No.
And it can trigger me like that. And when he says something bad about my dad or my mom, or if he doesn't like do the right thing with them, and it could be like really nothing. It could be like my parents coming over and me being downstairs and him taking 10 minutes too long to come down to say hi. It triggers me. I'm like, oh my God. I could kill him. Why is he not down here to say hi to my parents? But when he does something nice, it's like like hormones and all kinds of stuff happens in my body where I feel so like, oh my God, like I just love him so much.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God,
that's
all
awesome.
the negative things that he did are just like under the rug now. It's like,
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. It's just,
That's your love language.
yeah.
He
And
was
it's not
starting to
just
speak
my
in
parents, it's my family, like my sister, my cousin, like just my family. Like if I see him
that
take,
is
I don't
so
know.
similar.
It's
I'm
Wow.
just like that.
Really?
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
We're a lot very similar, cut from very similar cloths here. Okay,
Yeah.
Jesse, what is your favorite? What's your most attractive thing about me?
Your
other
brains.
than my good luck.
I always say that and know that 100%. Your brains, you're so smart.
That's so great. My thing that I'm most attractive to you about is I love the spirit and energy of adventure, and like you're just like, let's go. You want to do this? Yeah, let's go. You want to do this? Oh, hell yeah, that sounds like fun.
That's your number one favorite?
I would say like, well, in the spirit of right now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that you're.
I'll take it.
It kind of dovetails with the other thing that all my friends love about you, and that is you're kind of one of the guys with all my guy friends, and you hang out with me and my guy friends a lot, and I never have to worry like, oh, I wonder if she's going to feel out of place, or if she's going to be bored. You usually have 2 or 3 of them, and you're telling them some story, and you're like kind of going. So I like your spirit, your fun-loving spirit of adventure. Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, so we're going one more round of this, and that is, what is your least favorite thing about your wife?
Yeah, easy for me.
We talk about this shit all the
Easy.
time.
Wow.
I feel like that changes a lot. Different phases in life, but yeah.
That's good because then he's growing. So just
I think, okay. Yeah. I think sometimes the pessimist attitude
Okay.
around growth.
Okay.
I think sometimes I'm a risk taker.
Yeah.
And there's someone sometimes who holds me back. I don't think she means badly by it.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I just sometimes need someone to just go, let's go, right? And let's just jump into it and I understand why. I'm a sick, twisted human being, as I say. I'm just built, right?
Yeah.
And I just sometimes go and shoot and go, damn it, I wish I wouldn't have done that. But
Like what? I need examples because
Oh,
I thought
man.
I'm very supportive.
no, it's not supportive. It's someone who's just more conservative at times, right?
You meaning she's less of a risk taker.
Yeah, she's.
That's not true.
I feel like
Okay, here we
sometimes.
go.
I'm more of a risk taker than you.
All right, we should have
Excuse
ended.
me.
We should have ended on
Yeah.
No, this
your
is the
favorite
juicy
thing.
stuff.
You explain
I
what you
am-
mean.
Let him go.
I'm more
Give me an
of a risk
example.
taker than you. That's actually very funny that you say that. No, I need an example because you started this.
Okay, I'll tell you. So so let's talk about business, right?
Okay.
So maybe it is business focused because there are times where I'll be like, hey, I'm going to hire this person. I'm going to do this. And she's like, whoa, I don't think you should do that. Like, I don't know why you do, like, don't pay people that. Like, don't do that. And I'm like, what do you mean? We got to like fucking go for this shit,
Yeah.
right? Like, we got to do it. So I think maybe it is in my business bucket.
money related.
Yeah,
yes.
maybe it's money related. I'm more of just like a fucking let's take the risk. Money's got to move, baby, right? Like,
Okay. More money risk related.
yeah, it's not support. I mean, she's supported me since I had nothing. So that's off the table. She's fucking phenomenal. She's been my ride or die. But like, I think it's just now where the level that I find myself is that you have to play bigger, right? At least that's where I am currently. It's more about growth than it is protection. So I take things and I go, let's do it. And she's like, oh, don't do that, right? And I'm like, I wish you would just jump with me sometimes because it's just, I just want a partner in crime on that little piece, right?
Yeah, but that goes back to the question you asked earlier about communication, right?
Okay.
I'm not getting enough communication from him.
Yeah.
I'm not getting enough, like, I'm involved. I know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Remember, he hires and fires people, and I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
He doesn't tell me. So
Yeah.
it's like, it's hard for me to help out with these like if he's just giving me like bits and pieces, like it's very hard for me. I'm like, no, you can't spend that kind of money. What are you talking about? But I think it all goes back to communication. I think our number one problem really is communication.
Got it.
Because I don't think that I would ever hold anybody back from anything, and I don't if I knew exactly like the steps, right?
Yeah.
Like if he would explain it to me. But when he skips the steps and he just comes with something at me, I'm like,
Yeah.
no, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And he's thinking like, why is she holding me back? But I'm not. I just don't know what's going on. I don't know the history of things. And
that was a hard question though. Like, what is the worst thing about
Yeah.
life? Because I think in the moment it's hard. I think I have to
Yeah.
like do some seeking out,
Well,
right?
I think
no.
we've learned a lot here, guys.
No, you know what it is.
We've given you some tips.
Yeah.
Hey, no, what's really interesting about it is sometimes it's not even about communication, but it's more about style of communication.
yeah.
And when we talk about, hey, what's your least favorite thing about each other, it's usually what we've discovered in a lot of couples is we want the same thing, we just go at it totally differently. And I'm more like you, where I'm like, I've already thought through all the angles, especially if it's business related, and I don't want to take the time to catch Jesse up. I'm just like,
Yes.
just trust me. Like
Yes.
we don't talk a ton about business things, really. Well, we do. Do we?
That's like the most thing we talk about now that we work together.
Well, no,
So
no.
now I'm like totally involved and on board
I'm talking about,
and in it.
We talk a lot about like the discussions about what guys are going through.
You mean like how to grow?
But I'm talking about,
and,
like,
where money
marketing
goes,
and
things.
all
Oh no,
that
I
stuff.
trust you on that.
That's what I'm saying.
You're not gonna steer me wrong.
But I'm
so.
saying, but it's like when like what you're talking about is
It's money.
if I'm like, hey, I'm doing this, this, and this, I don't want to spend the time to catch her up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
You will
but-
sometimes or sometimes
But then
not.
but what you're feeling is like, hey, just I want to know. I want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
All you're
Yeah.
saying is you want to be a part of this, not because he's.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what I think you're feeling, because this is how I used to feel, and it was like, don't tell me what to do. I know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yes.
I don't even actually need your opinion. I'm going to go do this.
Yes.
And I used to think she was trying to boss me.
That was our old argument too.
It was our old, but now she's like, no, I just want to be involved.
Yes,
I'm like,
thank
well, why don't you
you.
say that?
Yeah.
To
Why
be
don't you
fair,
say- yeah, be
though,
fair.
but you weren't the man before, so how could I trust anything you do?
That's a very good point.
So where are you steering our money?
Yeah.
So now
Yeah.
I fully trust you, and
Yeah.
you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I know I'm in good hands
because
now.
I used to be the guy that didn't hang the curtains for like a month or 2 or 3, and then she'd be like, "Hey, man."
Pictures.
So that when the
Our fight was a picture, wasn't hung.
Yeah, it was a
That was
picture.
our fight. Picture.
Pictures is very hard.
and
You gotta hire people for that.
But-
now I do. So we skip all that argument.
no, but how long did it take me? Literally like 20 minutes when I finally hung it.
Yeah, and it was like 2 to 3 months of arguing about
For
it.
20-minute work, yes.
Yeah, but that's the crazy thing. So now I just go, oh, that's only gonna just do it. Like, and now
And
to me,
now I hire people too.
yeah, and now she has people, and doing what you say you're gonna do when you say you're gonna do it without fault is like now I know is the most attractive thing and the most greatest thing on planet Earth.
Yeah.
So it is an interesting question. That's why I wanted to ask it to you guys.
Yeah. No, you're spot on though. That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
I don't want you to tell me to change course or not do anything because
Yeah.
I've already made the decision. It's
Yeah.
happening.
But I wouldn't. That's the thing. I wouldn't because I
Right.
do trust them. Like she said, she's
Yeah.
like, I trust you fully, and I do too.
But you want to
But
be
if I don't
involved.
have a backstory and I don't know what's going on, how can I just like answer to something that's just like,
Yeah, I'm coming to
know?
her with the papers already signed. It's already done. And
And
she's
it's
like, what the fuck are you
just-
doing?
yeah.
And all it is you're like, I would like to be a part of that because I want to be a part. We used to struggle with that a lot. You're like, I want to know what's going. This is your
Yeah.
life. You're my best friend,
Yeah.
and I don't know. And I've had a couple of business partners where we were going. They would make these decisions, and I wasn't necessarily in the decision-making process and the things that they were doing. But after they did it, I was like, oh, I would have. I'm like the 7th to know about that. What the fuck is going on around here? Not that I wanted to add any input.
You just
But-
wanted to know.
But
Be
aren't
a part of it.
Aren't I on the inside? Like,
Yeah.
what's going on around here?
Yeah.
And then, so you almost feel like there's a
It's
betrayal.
like a clique. You are a part of the clique,
Thank
bro.
you.
You almost feel like
yes,
you're betrayed.
Yes,
Yeah.
because it's like when he says that to me, I'm not asking questions because I'm doubting what he's saying. I'm asking questions because I'm literally clueless.
Yeah.
And he's taking it as like, you're doubting me?
Yeah.
How dare you? You're supposed to say, let's go. And
That's-
I'm like, how
yeah.
can I say that? I don't even know what it is that you're talking about at
Exactly.
this point. Yeah.
That is, dude. Everything you guys go through, we've been through. I've been through.
You can Venmo us for this relationship.
Oh my god. Yeah, but, hey, what's your least favorite thing about me?
Like right now in this.
Like
Right
right,
now in
now.
this season.
She's like, this is
The recent thing I said.
one of these things
yeah.
that I like to pick?
Yeah,
Could be
it used to
this,
be
could
a
be that.
selfishness. He used to be so selfish and just live for you only. I think now, recently, the thing I was telling our wizard is I hate the fact that you get high so much. Because then you're like a different you and you're stupid. And the
Yeah.
one thing that I love about you the most, your brains go away.
Yeah.
So then I don't like you.
You feel like you can't connect with the real me.
Yeah.
You're
I
playing
don't-
with Dodo Bird Keith, not.
Yeah, and he wants that. And then I told him that then I would have never chosen you if
Yeah.
you're that stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
That's pretty real. It's real.
Yeah.
Once she explained it that way, I'm like, oh, so that's how you feel.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Wow.
I get it. That makes sense. Because if she drinks too much, I'm just like, oh, fucking hell, dude.
Not every time. Sometimes that's fun.
If like 2-shot Jesse's the greatest human being that's ever
Yes.
walked planet Earth.
Yeah.
6-shot Jesse is like, dude,
I mean, who can be good
Yeah.
at 6 shots?
Sometimes I can be.
well, but then sometimes
I'm amazing.
sometimes it brings out that like,
Yes.
oh, somebody put her to
So the
bed
way I have
with
to
the
explain
fucking
it so he
frying
gets
pan.
it is like that was
I think that's every female.
Somebody
the
knock
way I
her
have
out.
to explain it is like, oh, you want me to have 5 shots every single day and you want to be in a relationship with me?
Yeah, I'd be like,
That's
no,
not
thank
fair.
you. Yeah. So
I'll just wait till Saturday and get wasted.
We
Yeah,
go through
exactly.
that. We go through that.
Yeah.
2 drink, Michelle. Amazing.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get home. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
3 or 4
anymore-
drinks. God, she's gonna start a fight over the radio. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Like I know I'm getting my ass chewed out over something.
Yeah.
Why'd you look at me like that? I didn't even look at you. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I promise you did. That's hilarious, man.
And
All right.
go.
Oh, my least favorite thing about you?
Oh my God.
Oh, I
there's
forgot-
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing,
Forgot?
girl.
I know. Thank you.
It would be
The
your
longest pause ever.
Well, you were thinking about which one about me, and I'm pausing and
Old
considering.
you or a current relationship?
You know.
Well, that's all for the show, everybody.
We'll be right back.
yeah. it's usually the tone. And it's it's you have a school marm tone. Our wizard calls it the school marm, like the headmaster that's like, you're in trouble. And I'm like, I am definitely not in fucking trouble because you can't get me in trouble. So what the fuck are you talking about? That's that's my instant defensive attitude, is like, no, you're in trouble. So it's that attitude, and you're working on it. You know what I mean?
I am?
Yeah. From time to time, you're getting
I
better.
thought I was perfect.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
That was my
Getting
second thing
there.
about
You're
you,
an
is
8 out
your
of 10.
tone.
8 out of
My
10.
tone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never 100.
Yeah.
I was going to say your tone second, because that's what we're working on together, is our tones together.
I think tone is a big deal for
Oh my
everybody
God, it's
sometimes.
such
My
a
tone
big
sucks
deal.
sometimes. Hers does too.
But
like
it's
just a thing.
hard for them to hear it. Them.
Whoa!
The other. It's always hard for the other person.
Yeah.
Like for her, she could say them. We could say them. It's. So I thought I was going to solve this, and so I came to the wizard one day and I said, here's what I want to do. I want to put cameras and microphones up everywhere.
That's
in the
illegal.
house
That's
for
illegal.
at least a week, because I want her to hear herself.
Yeah.
And they both looked at us and like, are you fucking crazy, man? And I go, yes, I am very fucking crazy. I said, but because once she hears it, she will never want to do it again.
Yeah.
And same.
And same.
For you.
And same. So I'm like, well, this was going to work out for everybody. But not. Hey, so you help guys get ripped.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little, just a little bit about that and where they can find out more about that, because there's a ton of guys that listen. We do have women that listen as well, but mostly there's a huge majority of guys, and there's guys that want to get ripped. They want to get jacked. They want to look like you. They maybe want to look a little bit like me. What is the number one thing that you tell them? Like, what's the big, if they unlock this thing, it really helps all the other shit. Is there one big thing?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for most of the guys listening is that you already have all the skills required to look the way you want to look. You're probably a successful person in some aspect, whether it's your career, your business. Probably guys who listen to you are pretty successful business-wise.
Yeah, a lot of business guys.
So you got all the skills required. You got all the time you need. You got everything. You got the mindset. You got it all. You don't see it yet, but you have everything. Fitness is not complicated. It requires what you talk about all the time with your program, where you just have to have systems. And I think fitness is the lowest hanging fruit to improving all parts of your life.
Yeah.
From
I
your
agree with
business to how you operate. You walk in a room, your respect goes up when you're in shape. Your wife looks at you different. Your kids think you're a superhero. It's just the lowest hanging fruit because it's accessible anywhere you are.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of guys have this fear that they have to become this absolute warrior of a person to get in shape, when in reality, you just have to use the skills you already got, bro.
Yeah.
And you need a system that's simple and easy to follow every day, and the sky is not even the limit.
Is there words that you hear them say before they come in the program and then they ditch those words, or they adopt new vocabulary, which is like evidence to you that their mindset has changed? What are those?
Yeah, they stop allowing their feelings to dictate their actions, and now their actions dictate their feelings. So we have a motto that we live by in our group, and it's that I don't feel like doing this workout today, so I'm going to go do this workout today so that I feel like doing that workout today, right? So it's just we allow our feelings to become facts when in fact they're not.
Yeah.
They're temporary. They're going to fade away. So let's go create some feelings. Let's go create that powerful confidence and that daily energy that you crave so much.
I love it. Well, first of all, it's been a lot of fun having you guys on. We knew we were going to throw a couple of rattlesnakes on the table. We were excited about that.
First podcast
It
for the
was on
wife.
purpose.
I'm so
And
proud of
it's
Michelle.
Michelle's
She
first
fucking
podcast. Yeah.
slayed it.
Yeah.
Absolutely
you.
crushed it.
Audience,
She outshined me for sure.
Audience here.
She did way better than me.
Hold on a second.
Get them.
I'm gonna get you. I want to get a video of you guys.
Our support system.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding when I feel like I felt like Michelle was more comfortable than me, which is awesome. And I knew she would. She absolutely crushes, and I podcast for a living. So
I liked when she started yelling and stuff.
Yeah.
she let her hair down, man.
That was her. I was
She
like,
let her hair down.
That was a lot of fun. This is something I'm gonna do just for funsies. Let me see if I can do this. And that's always a
cool.
good look when you got the
Give me a kiss.
that.
Give me a kiss.
Aww.
Perfect. Oh, I love it. All right. So, where can they go to find out about your program, How They Get
Absolutely.
Rich? Are you selling like a how to make money, as a hairstylist program, or no? Okay.
She needs to.
All right. So where do guys find out about how to get
Yeah.
bulging biceps, deltoids that cannot be stopped?
3mfatloss.com. That's where you want to go. Our program's called The True Transformation. You can go to thetruetransformation.com. That's great. We have tons of resources, but 3mfatloss.com.
The number 3?
The number 3mfatloss.com.
Okay.
Yep,
What does that
sorry.
stand for?
Our 3M system for guys. So
Okay,
it's movement, muscle, and meals. That's the only 3 things you got to worry about every day.
Yeah.
You'll look ripped, jacked, and nobody
That's
will
a
be able
great
to-
framework.
Yeah.
Move, which is your steps and your
Yep.
walking and keeping muscles, working out, and then meals is like what you put in your mouth.
Exactly. You
That's
get
it.
those 3 things dialed in,
I
bro.
love framework.
And things that match.
3M. I think the number 3 is powerful.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's my favorite number.
It's
it is.
the most powerful
Yeah,
number on earth.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
it is the system that works every single time you follow it.
Yeah.
We do have a super system that we add on for your mind and your meeting, but 3M is where everybody starts.
Got it.
You got to graduate that, and once you get that down, it's like riding a bike, man.
Yeah, it really
I mean,
is.
you live and breathe it every day with your coach, who's a
Yeah.
fucking savage, and
Yeah.
you got the same type of framework, and it works, man.
Yeah.
You just got to do the work.
Yeah, man. If you just, hey, how many steps you got to get in that? Okay.
Yep.
Are you gonna go to bed before you get it? No. All right. You got to
Calories.
eat. You got to eat these meals
Yep.
and that much. Are you gonna eat more than that? No. I said I was gonna do that, but I want more. Nobody asked you. But is that the number you do? Yeah, that's the number. Okay. You gonna work out? Yeah, I'm fucking doing that.
Exactly.
So it's so beautiful.
Yeah, I think when guys stop chasing the 6-pack and they start leveling up how they treat themselves,
Yeah.
the 6-pack takes care of itself.
Yeah.
Like, fitness becomes just part of who you are.
Yeah.
And you honestly have to buy into that, because right now your identity is so tied, and we call this identity design, but your identity is so tied to the guy who can never get in shape. It's such a struggle.
Yeah.
I don't have the time. My kids need me. My wife is going to get upset. She's not going to cook my healthy meals. It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, it's a bitch ass excuse. The list goes on and on.
Yeah.
But when you start identifying as the person who can get in shape, and before you're in shape, you start acting like that person.
Yeah.
When you're faced with decisions, what would the fit version of me do today
Yeah.
in this situation? You start deciding based off that principle and that type of identity. All of a sudden, the 6-pack takes care of itself. Like, you just walk around lean and jacked all the time.
I'm gonna have you back on. We're gonna talk just about that. This was the couples edition, but because what you just said was so powerful. It's the same thing what we talk about in married game. It's like sex is the fruit of a relationship, but it's the root and the tree you have to take care of. And if you focus on the root, it's going to happen. Like that's what a tree does. That's what a marriage is. But what's interesting is I love how you said this, because if somebody, I've had a 6-pack probably 4 or 5 times in my life, and because I know I've had it, I just go, oh, I just have to do this for the next 12 weeks and it will be back. Or I have to do this for the next 6. Like, I know, but most men have never experienced it. So they think, oh, I got to do this bullshit for how long? It's like, no, dude. Just create this lifestyle and watch what will happen. So I'm really glad you said that.
Can I add to that real
Please.
quick? So what you just did, though, because I work with a lot of guys like you too, who are like, oh, I work with guys who play D1 football who are freaking jacked out of their minds. And they're like, I know what it takes. I just got to do this and this. I go, why haven't you?
Yeah.
Because you procrastinate.
Yeah.
You said, oh, I've had this, so I can always do that on Monday.
Yeah.
I can always do that next year when things get slower,
yeah.
business gets better. And then all of a sudden 10 years go by.
Yeah.
And you're 80 pounds overweight and your kids are like, damn, I got to put my dad in this care home because he didn't take care of himself. Like, life goes by that quick.
It's so true.
I have a trademark saying, dude, life moves fast, make it count. Because we procrastinate so much.
Yeah.
We know how to do things. Dude,
Yeah.
I know how to grow $1 million plus business.
Yeah.
I know how to get in shape. Are you doing it though?
Yeah.
It's one thing to say you know how to do it. It's a whole other thing to do it. I don't care if
Yeah.
you've had it before. You haven't had it in this season of life,
Yeah.
right? There's always new levels and new devils, of course, that come with that.
Yeah.
But there's always another mountain to climb. And just because you've been on that mountain before doesn't mean you can't go up it faster and better the next time.
Exactly.
So don't procrastinate. Get after it.
That's so true. And the one thing I learned every time I've gotten in really great shape is I was like, oh, the only reason I look this way is because I became the guy who did the things. Like it was 100% the fruit. And and if I just followed the protocol and the process every single day, because it was my word to myself, it just happened.
Doesn't everything get better when you're doing that though? Like
with everything in business, in marriage, in your body, it's just it's universal. So
100%, dude.
thank you guys for being on.
Thanks
You've
for
been
having us,
rocking.
man.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome.
We'll do plenty more, and that is the show. If you loved it, you learned anything, or you just laughed at us, share it with somebody that you love. And as always, remember, keep crushing it. That shit's contagious.